understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
When I eat a brain, I get visions.
Don't ever come back to Gotham.
You have failed this city.
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, June 15th, 2019. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined.
And I'm Sara, academic by day, freelance writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And we've got 3 new episodes for you this week, including 1 season premiere.
Yay. How you doing, Sara? You enjoying yourself? You having fun?
Yes, I am deeply in mourning that we are halfway through June. I don't understand how this came to pass. I don't like it. But, yeah. How about you?
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about Krypton.
Yeah. All right, look. We'll talk about this when we get here, but the show does not do it for me. It just doesn't. I know. I feel bad.
Well, all right. Well, we'll see. I do have some good news for you, Sara.
Yes, go. Krypton's been canceled.
No. We got another email from Thomas.
Ooh, hit me.
Yeah, it seems like he's making this his Sunday ritual. He listens to us and then sends us his thoughts on the episode. So for those of you who listened last week, here are Thomas's random thoughts. I seen the Wonder Woman poster. I am real impressed. Was hoping for the old school from the Linda Carter days, mind you. It was not practical. Swamp Thing 1 season? Come on, DC. Move it to another state. Louisiana would work. Tell North Carolina to suck it. If I pay for DC streaming, I think I deserve more seasons. I'm with you there.
Yeah, agreed.
Krypton. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for coming back to it. Is Sara trying to lose all your UK fans? Is this an
Oh no.
Is this an anti-fish and chip apps? LOL. So
I for the record, I love fish and chips. I attended a very close to English high tea yesterday with a group of lady friends. I love the British. Something about the dark lighting and the hockey talk just leaves me really cold. I don't know. I don't understand it. I can give you my Downton Abbey cred. I can give you my Anglophile in every way. I just rewatched North and South on Netflix the other day. Not the Civil War one, the British one. Like, I love England. I love the UK. Sorry. Don't leave.
just keep.
Some of my friends are British.
Oh, you brought out the some of my friends excuse. Oh, Sara, I thought better of you.
Kate, if you're listening, I think your accent is lovely.
What else? Lucifer. I will miss Charlotte, played by Tricia Helfer, as his mom, and Dr. Linda Martin, Rachel Harris, both my faves on the show. Well, Dr. Linda's not going anywhere. She's still going to be there for season 5.
Well, when it ends,
yeah.
When it wraps up.
Of course, you're right. Arrow. Let's hope this goes like Reign of Superman. Like Reign of Superman. While Arrow is missing, we get others being the Arrow. Diggle, Black Siren, Roy Harper, Nyssa Al Ghul, Sarah Lance. What would you think of that, Sara? A rotating group of people wearing the hood.
I mean, sure. I still don't know what they're going to do with Arrow this season. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes. And Thomas's winner of the week was Sara due to Segel having a beard. Thanks for making my day.
I'm going to add to that when we get to the Krypton section, because Segel is still the best part of the show for me. So
okay. I just also with last week's episode, we had at Bauer Fett. had a question about my pronunciation. He wanted to know, did I say machete, not machete? And
Bowerfett picked up on my genuine delighted bafflement. And what did you just say?
well, if you watch the movie, Danny Trejo pronounces his name machete.
Wait, so is the Danny Trejo pronunciation the pronunciation that holds?
Yes. Yeah, I think the actor who's playing the character gets to decide how the character says his name.
All right, good enough.
Machete.
This is like in Game of Thrones, and I know you didn't watch, and I know the show is over, but at some point, Arya Stark she started pronouncing her own name as like Aya, and it was very strange, and yeah, so sometimes actors can get a little goofy with but yeah, no, machete. Good enough.
All right. You want to just dive right in? You want to just jump right in?
Let's just do it.
Yeah, we got 3 episodes instead of 2, so we gotta keep it tight.
Snappy.
All right. First up is Krypton, Season 2 premiere. Light years from home. Drew Zod used Segal's sacrifice as propaganda to spur Krypton to buy into his plans for intergalactic conquest. Adam Strange beamed into Kandor and was brought to a hideout where Val-El, Jax-Ur, and Nyssa Vex were leading the resistance. Brainiac and Seg escaped the Phantom Zone and landed in a forest on Brainiac's now uninhabited home of Kolu. Last-minute reveal: Lobo stunned Seg and Strange and began dragging them through the forest on a chain.
All right, I'm about to say the least surprising, most on-brand thing that you're going to hear this episode. But if Krypton is going to morph into a show about dreadlock leather pants codpiece guys chaining up hot dudes in the woods, I gotta say I'm on board. That's a really specific demographic that they're going for, and I'm in that demographic. Okay, Lobo transported in from a completely different show. He came from Gotham, like the weird Gotham cut off from the world, but we all have time and money for craft and full makeup Gotham, and landed in this stuffy British talkie show. And I'm into it, but I don't know how it's going to work long term. Ed, what'd you think about Lobo?
I thought Lobo was great. I was surprised like how close he was to the comics. Like that is pretty much straight up. Oh, that's Lobo. I thought the accent was
like appearance, personality, all of it.
Yes, yeah. Like it doesn't. It looks like they took a cosplayer from Emerald City Comic Con and threw him into this show.
Why Emerald City Comic Con? Because it's not like SDCC.
That's the one in Seattle. Like... That's the one in Seattle. Yes, yeah. It's a second tier Comic Con. It's not on the level of It's not San Diego. It's not New York. I would say, someone from like Emerald City or C2E2 or Fan Expo Canada.
Hey, C2E2 is my home Comic Con. What are you doing?
No, they're high level Comic Cons, but they're not like, they're in the top 5, but not the top 3. It's top 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not Dragon Con. It's not. No, I get it. That was just a specifically savage thing to say, and I'm very into it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, you were gonna say the accent. The accent threw me.
It did. That's the one thing that's a little okay, like maybe, like
maybe
maybe they pulled the cosplayer from the London Super Comic Convention. I don't know. What?
Well, it helps save money. He brought his own props and costumes.
Yes,
so
Yes. Just in terms of tweets, at MEarth Prime pointed out, oh no, Adam Strange compared Lobo to the Kiss Army. he's not far off.
that was the thing that made me most genuinely laugh in this episode.
It was weird is like it comes at the end. I mean, we do get the hint. I knew we were in for fun when that tracker started saying shithead detected. They're like, oh no, they're really doing it. Okay. It was fun. I was going to ask you, Sarah, if you thought Seg really did kill Brainiac until, the next week on Krypton immediately debunked that theory.
I will say that did puzzle me for a second. I just like, wait, did you take a really interesting scene and skip over it, Krypton? Did you do that to me? So apparently not. Although I would like to have seen the whatever crafting was required for. I don't know. The Phantom Zone parts were cool. I enjoy seeing a new show envision a Phantom Zone situation. What did you think about that?
Yeah, and I thought it was cool that it seemed like the Phantom Zone that Seg was seeing was all in his head. That it was being constructed out of his thoughts, and that's why he was seeing visions of certain things that were upsetting him. And I thought it was interesting. Just you couldn't really see the line between what was the Phantom Zone and what was a projection created by Brainiac. I thought that that was an interesting mix.
I feel like Brainiac is the worst possible entity to be in the Phantom Zone with.
Yeah, it's up there.
Right? I just, that would be not a great, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But luckily they were able to escape. And
into a forest that was outside. Like I didn't realize how much I craved an outside setting on this show until they gave it to me. I know we've gone outside on Krypton, the like the planet before, but it seems like it was a wintry hellscape all the time. But this was a pretty forest. There was greenery. And like natural light. I was excited.
Yes, there was. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like a nice place. And it's a pity that no one lived there because Brainiac. Because Brainiac. Just destroys everything. Yeah. And Seg killed Brainiac. And there was a lot of gore. I feel like the only reason we saw that, like they actually showed his head smashed in. And I feel like the only reason we got to see that is because his skin is green and his blood was black and not red.
It's true. That's true. If it had been red, they would have had to tone that way down.
But yeah.
But as promised, I wanted to follow up on my thought that not only does Seg have a beard, which actually in motion is kind of a goofy looking beard, but still he has that leather jacket, which remains fire. He still has the good leather jacket. So there is my shallow. All right, we can move on to the rest of the episode.
Yeah. So we had two major things. I mean, Adam Strange eventually ends up with Seg.
Adam Strange still in a hoodie after 6 months of oppression or whatever. Still in a hoodie, but continue.
Yeah, men are simple creatures, you know.
Wouldn't he want to blend at some point with the people a little more? I don't know.
He never knows how long he's going to be there anyway.
Okay. What almost broke me, in all seriousness, were the characters just telling him what's been going on. Oh, since you've been gone, here are the things that happened, and they just told him. That's what kills me about this show. Is just there was just like, I felt like it was 10 minutes of info dump when Adam got into this dark cottage and just people told him what had been happening.
Yeah, and I think that is something with this show, is because it is a very complicated, intricate storyline, and you only have so much of your budget to spend on action. The visual storytelling is not really a strong suit. So yeah, you do have these exposition dumps, but
there's Ed with the positive spin and Sarah with the negative spin. There you go.
but the truth is, a lot of it is stuff that I think you would have inferred, like, oh yeah, so Zod's in charge, he would have probably done a bunch of this stuff. And Adam Strange learning this from Jaxor and Val-El, just kind of confirmed it.
And maybe that's my problem, is the spoon feeding more than anything else, I guess. I also did not need a baby introduced into all of this. I do not need Nyssa running around like, where's my baby? But that's what we're getting.
Yes. Yeah. And that was the other, it's weird. Every episode this week had like a really small storyline that was like one scene. And I'm like, do I fit this in the recap? Is it worth it? And like, oh. But yeah, Nyssa found her dad and then immediately lost him again.
In kind of a graphic way. I thought that was a lot.
Yeah. Lyta's doesn't just shoot him, shoots his head off. I
do not care for this new Lyta. And I say that in a way that means I'm enjoying this part of it. This new Lyta is terrible.
Yes. Yeah. She's I think Lyta's in denial. I think Lyta's upset that her man has this other baby with another woman.
Fair.
And also she learns that she will have a kid, and that Seg won't be around to raise it. And her kid, I think she's slowly but surely not coming to terms with the fact that, you know, the son she raised is turned into a psychopath, a megalomaniacal dictator, who's going to
I guess
enslave the universe.
Good for her for teaching him goals. You know, I kept waiting for the reveal that she was playing him. You know, that at the end we would see that she was actually helping the resistance or something like that. But that laser blast to Nice's dad's head, probably.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, no, I think she believes in Druzad right now. And I'm hoping that fades. I'm hoping that over the course of the season, you know, she will see him for what he is and decide that the right thing to do is to fight back. But I think she's in lockstep with him right now. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Three lines of dialogue jumped out at me. One was, I believe it was Seg saying, "I've got a bad feeling about this." You can't just drop that in without, you know. And then I think it was Nyssa who said, "No, I'm sorry. It was the Resistance saying, 'You hope for the best and I'll prepare for the worst.'" It was a line of dialogue set in a show that got actual network money. And then was it Seg who said, "You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?" And then Jason and I just quoted Kill Bill for an hour at each other. Yeah, you know, for a second I kind of did. So the dialogue was weirdly referential to other pop culture things, and I enjoyed it, but then I just kind of wanted to watch Kill Bill again. So that's my thought on the Krypton premiere. I'm so sorry, Ed. Yeah. I tried. I really went into this being like, maybe this season is the season that gets me, and so far,
Well, I don't know.
Maybe we'll see space dolphins. Maybe that'll help.
Maybe. I wonder, like, how much does Jaxor and Val-El, how much are they really in control of this resistance? Like, I want to see more of them. And you know, is this really as organized as they say it is?
How could it be?
Well, I mean, they're saying they have a headquarters on Wegthor. Oh, Sarah,
they have a small moon base. No, I don't know what.
Oh, you're gonna love Wegthor.
Oh no, I'm not. I can tell by your voice I'm not.
Well, we'll see. Just a couple more tweets regarding Jaxor. On the DC TV report I posted that the most astonishing part of this episode was that Jaxor was hiding the codex, you know, the thing that keeps track of all of Krypton's future generations, inside of a coffee can, basically. She just had it in a bunch of rubbish, in a bunch of, you know, random what looked like garbage, you know, on a counter, and she just, oh, here's the codex, we'll just take it. And we got a couple of tweets, one from Provo at Provo Sci-Fi. The only place to stash your valuables is in a chock full of nuts can. on a mountaintop. And the at Krypton Sci-Fi, the verified Krypton account, followed that up with under your mattress in the Phantom Zone. So,
I mean, that's just the rules for hiding things, obviously.
yes, yeah, and it's cool. We got a reply from the Krypton account. So even if it was secondhand, but that's cool. So yeah. I am looking forward to the rest of the season.
I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think there's interesting things that could happen, and hopefully now that we're all up to speed on what's been going on, it can be a little bit more forward motion, right?
Yes. All right. Any news for Krypton?
Well, yes, actually, now that you mention it. Did you like Lobo?
Oh,
because Sci-Fi is apparently developing a spinoff based on Lobo. So, Ed, did you like Lobo enough for a spinoff?
I like Lobo. This is wow. Okay, and it was that news dropped like early in the week before the premiere happened. So, I think this was bold. They're really confident in this character. Now it's in development, which means it may never happen. You know, we may not even get a pilot. I would say right now the odds of this happening are probably at 1 in 5, but there's a chance. There's a chance.
I feel like Lobo is going to be best in small doses. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, so that was your surprising news of the week out of Sci-Fi. Also, the showrunners of Krypton did an interview with EW, and they talked a little bit about what's coming up this season. And the thing that jumped out at me was that they are going to tell Doomsday's backstory. So we're going to find out kind of where he came from and what made Doomsday Doomsday.
Cool. Do we really? I mean, is it really that complicated? I mean,
so megalomaniac, control freak, nightmare fuel, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see. Like, to me, the story there isn't about Doomsday. It's about who built Doomsday. You know, that's the thing you really want to. You know, that would be interesting to explore if that's his backstory.
Well, and maybe that's what they'll do.
Maybe we'll see. All right. That was it for the news, right?
That was it.
All right. Next up, iZombie. Season 5, Episode 7, Filleted to Rest. Liv cooked the brain of the murdered head chef at La Dome in a red wine sauce. Dr. Collier from the CDC asked Ravi to help track down her twin sister. Major had to investigate an attack at Fillmore Graves that involved the murder of a dozen soldiers and the theft of 4 frozen prisoners. Last-minute reveal. Martin Roberts, the man from the van, got a knock on the door from Liv, who is apparently his daughter.
Well, dang, we got some family drama.
Yeah. How'd you like that conversation? Like, just halfway through the episode, all of a sudden, oh, that's right, Liv had a family.
Honestly, it was kind of abruptly introduced. And it was funny because you and I had talked about this in the months leading up to the show, that they were saying we'll kind of revisit that family angst, but I completely forgot about all of it. And then bam, there's Mom. And Mom apparently didn't understand the choices Liv made. Still, I don't know. I am not super sympathetic to Mom. How about you?
Yeah, but I can't say I'm surprised. You know, some parents, you know, they have their principles, they have their ideals, and they're not gonna budge on them no matter what. No matter how many times you tell them that's not what's going to happen, that's not the truth, that's not the way you feel. They have to be right. Yeah, and I mean the worst thing is she basically told Liv straight out, I'm not telling your brother I saw you.
Harsh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and it is weird. I mean, it is weird because like they haven't been around since like season 1. or season 2?
I think so. What was it the end of season 1 when Meet Cute exploded?
Yeah.
That I think that's the last time we saw them. So that just, I don't know. I wish it had been ramped up a little bit more, but it was always going to be kind of out of the blue if somebody said, "Hey, Liv, have you heard from your mom recently?" So I guess they did what they did. But the dad reveal is, whoa.
Yeah, that was shocking. I mean, I realize now why they never told us that dude's name, which was really hard to write in a recap. Like, what do I refer to this guy as? What's the deal here? And yeah, so yeah, and we got yeah, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know why he's unfreezing these guys. What's his angle? And yeah, is he really Liv's dad? Is that the truth?
It's a good question. Also, how many hair dryers does he go through? I mean, I feel like that would burn out a hair dryer defrosting a whole human body.
Yeah. I mean, don't they have like those like I don't know what those heaters that they look like fans, but there's no blades. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's got to be something more efficient than a handheld blow dryer.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it is a blow dryer that's doing the job, give us the name of the manufacturer, because that feels like you could get some good like advertising mojo out of that.
Yeah.
So strong it can thaw a corpse.
Yeah. Now Enzo will be back. Oh, that's not going to be fun. And Major having to take out Justin for helping out those guys.
Yeah. But he did it. He didn't hesitate.
Nope. That was a rough storyline. That was harsh. Yeah, did not see that coming. I did not want to believe Peters, but he was too lousy of a soldier to lie about something like that. Yeah, that whole storyline, and and I'm wondering, like, what exactly is Martin Roberts' connection to the Dead Enders? Like, is he working with Dolly? Or is it...
Yeah, that is unclear to me, and I look forward to them sort of unfolding that in upcoming weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like Dolly's taken a little bit of a back seat. You haven't yelled about how evil she is in a while, so that to me that means she hasn't been prominent. I'm looking forward to her working her evil ways again more prominently in the future, because she's such a great villain.
Yeah.
And it gets you just so upset, and that I enjoy that too.
Just leading out here, let's talk about Ravi and Charlie and Layla Collier.
Look, I don't know that we need a bunch of new characters in the last season, but I'm enjoying these new characters, so okay.
Yeah. I mean, it really bad for Ravi that the CDC is cutting him off now. And I think that's a stupid move. But I'm glad to see Charlie is still working with him. And yeah, I thought that was an interesting storyline. Another bit of family drama where those two sisters were on the outs with each other. And
I did enjoy the non-CDC twin. Let's go, Pete. My name's Silvio. I like the way she lives her life. But that's a fun dynamic, and like I said, I wasn't expecting. They have so many things going on. They have so many plates spinning this season that I don't know that we necessarily need that, but it gave Ravi some really good stuff to work with, and I sincerely hope that actor lands on another TV show very soon, because he is a delight in every scene, no matter what he's doing.
For sure. Yeah, I look forward to that. And all right, now let's talk about the real mystery here. What did you think of Liv on demanding head chef brain?
I'm kind of excited to see a big brain come back. I like the bigger personality brains after the couple of subtle ones that we've had in the previous weeks. This was fun. Tasty coffee? You lie. She's great. How did you think about the brain preparation? That was the one I was most excited for you personally, Ed O'Hare. Did the brain prep please you for the meal?
Oh, yes. This was back. I mean, the fact that she wasn't on that brain yet, and she was already enjoying it. She knew how to handle that wine sauce. So like, wow, that's fancy. That's fancy. I thought you had to be a professional to do something like that.
She faked it well.
It's like brain béarnaise or something like that. I thought that was really cool. I liked some of the drama. The actor who played Herbert the waiter, I do not remember his name, but he used to be a regular on Monk.
Can I tell you the actual exchange that Jason and I had about this? Jason says, "Oh yeah, that guy. He's the one on Monk who wasn't Cowboy Bob." And I said, "Do you mean Buffalo Bill?" And that is close to 2 decades of marriage right there. That's a very different Silence of the Lambs movie. Cowboy Bob.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to see him again. I forgot what kind of really bland, easy to swallow comfort food Monk was. And that fella brought it all back for me.
Yeah, and I was shocked that he didn't turn out to be the murderer.
Same. You can't have somebody that familiar to like people, quirky crime procedural fans, and not make him the bad guy. Mm-hmm. But I will say the actual murderer was sad. I mean, that was one of those where it's not always when you arrest somebody who actually killed somebody else that you feel like, aw, kind of wish he'd gotten away with it, but kind of wish he'd gotten away with it.
Oh no, Jerry the Dish Boy needed to be taken down.
She's got out into his family.
Yeah, he should have thought about that before he swung that pork loin around.
Ed is the son of a prosecutor, and I'm the wife of a defense attorney. So take that with a grain of salt. Our biases are showing.
All right, and there were 2 other smaller storylines. No, we talked about the mom storyline. But the other little thing was Michelle being transferred, doing a temporary transfer to replace Clive for a while he was filling in for Dale. And yeah, so she ended up getting hit in the head with a hockey puck in the hospital, and had an awkward moment with Clive saying, "You're not my dad. You're not my baby's daddy, but I wish you were." Yeah.
I'm feeling bad. I feel like there's no good ending for her. There's just no way to give her like a happy ending. It sounds like she's got a deadbeat baby dad, and Clive is the most reliable person in her life, but Clive is married to somebody he loves. I just don't see how this resolves in a way that makes me say, "Aw, iZombie."
And yeah, and it's weird. I think it's weird to see and interesting to see the writers acknowledge that. Like, yeah, we had this storyline, and where this character's now in a tough spot, I think a lot of shows would have just had her disappear and we never see her again. But
yeah, I applaud them bringing her back.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. All right.
Did we need to talk about the screaming children and Liv and Major having? It reminded me of, stay with me, the Shazam.
Oh yes,
family, like foster family dinner scenes. I just felt like Liv and Major are the parents of this big, loud foster family, and I didn't expect that level of domesticity at the end. But I guess when you have the mom come back with no forgiveness in her heart, then you have Liv with her own found family. Okay, all right. That's a nice way to cap that.
Yeah. It's it seems like Liv's distracted and isn't able to enjoy the moment as much as Major. But we'll see.
I think Major needs it more. I don't know. I think Major just needs that kindness, maybe. Not that Liv's life is easy, but dang, Major's going through some stuff. He's got work. I mean, everybody has work issues, but Major had to execute a friend. So
Yeah.
He needed that casserole that night. He needed that hot casserole.
Yeah. I hope it gets better for them. I hope it gets better.
Yeah, me too.
I do too. All right. Any news for iZombie?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on to our final episode for this week. Swamp Thing. Season 1, Episode 3. He Speaks. The Swamp Thing was haunted by visions of Munson, whose dead body was wandering the swamp, possessed by bugs. Abby was desperate to get her hands on Alec's research as the diseased patients kept getting worse. Maria Sunderland began to lose trust in her husband as she became aware of his true motives. Last minute reveal, after beating Gordon Haas to death in his own bathtub, Avery Sunderland watched Liz ring Gordon's bell and walk away frustrated.
All right. When your wife sees her dead daughter on the regular and then starts to look at you like you have the problem, you have the problem.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, Avery doesn't know that Maria is seeing Shauna in the mirror every time she looks. He's not aware of that directly, but I can see your point.
I guess I'm looking at it more like from her perspective. She is seeing her dead daughter and is like, "No, this is cool," and then she looks at her husband and is like, "You monster." That's not. So I have never understood a character being in a situation where somebody is menacing you. I'm talking about Gordon here, and you threaten that person back. Like when little beardy Gordon is like, "Well, I could just tell everybody what you've been doing." Don't do that, man. He's in your house. He's threatening you. Just be like, "Okay, please leave." Am I a coward, Ed? Am I just a coward to say whatever to get the person out of my house?
I don't know. I don't think Gordon was thinking clearly. Sometimes you're pushing a quarter. Your first instinct is to just fight your way out of it, and that's the best way he knew how to do it, was with threats.
I guess I'm just a roll over and show your belly kind of person. That's just a me thing, but who knows?
Yeah, and rest in peace, Gordon.
Yeah, ooh, that was brutal. This was a gross episode, which I guess we could say about every episode so far. But that bug guy, not okay.
Yeah,
not okay.
Yeah, and it looked like a waste of a good 6-iron.
I don't know. Do you think you can still play with that? Does that like affect the heft or the?
I don't know. I don't play golf personally.
Oh God, no. The fact that you said 6-iron was impressive enough to me. That made me feel like you knew a lot about golf. So you could have kept playing that out for a while.
Yeah, no. I'm not good enough at golf to drag that out. But yeah, I mean, really, the thing is here that we know that Avery was up to no good.
Confirmed now.
Yes, yeah, we know that he was using that. Basically, he's been using Maria's money, or her family's money, and now she's cut him off, so he's at the end of his rope, and he's doing some desperate things now. And I'm wondering if Liz is going to be his next target. I hope she's not.
I hope not. Oh, speaking of Liz, can I say how charming it is that she works for a weekly newspaper? This show could have fallen victim to the Flash thing where like Iris is starting her own online blog. They have her working at a weekly newspaper. That's so adorable. I love it. It's so old school. It made me, I realized that's what made me so happy about that character as I was watching this last night.
Cool. Yeah. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Abby, doing her investigative work, I was really upset and stricken when she found Harlan had been infected, and I thought, oh no, this is going into a bad place. I did not think that she was going to come through this, and I'm really glad that Swamp Thing helped her get that breakthrough.
I was impressed that Swamp Thing was able to give a medical consult like that. That was good work. But yeah, you're right. I honestly thought that she'd save him. I didn't think that it felt early in the show run to kill that particular character. So I was a little more optimistic about his survival, and I was pleased that he pulled through. And I was also pleased that Abby showed all those other doubting Thomases that she knew what she was doing. I was also pleased when Abby corrected what's his name and said,
Eli Truce?
Doctor. Yeah, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. This was another one that had a couple of like weird small storylines. And one of them was Abby met Dr. Jason Woodrue. And we learned that Woodrue is there because his wife is, going through some kind of dementia.
Yeah, that was I like that layer to that character. That's a good sympathizing, humanizing element. He's interesting. I'm enjoying this character. He's kind of a jerk and sort of single-minded and obviously doing things in the swamp that he shouldn't be doing, but he is interesting. Yeah,
and I can't wait until we see him actually turn into a monster. Like you could tell that's going. You could tell that's going to happen. His glasses and hairstyle. I think you have to be crazy to go with that combo. He's got those crazy eyes now. Yeah.
Wait, so if I have cute glasses and cute hair, does that mean if I turn into some sort of mutated thing, I might be a more benevolent? Like, is it the cuteness of the accessories that the difference?
I don't know. It's just he's got that weird, crazy professor look who's like, I'm only here. I have tenure, so you can't fire me. That kind of like really angry kind of like, hey man, I'm gonna.
I know that look. Do you know why? Because I have tenure and you can't fire me. It's great. Feeling of absolute freedom. Okay, we've put this off long enough. Can we talk about the bug guy? I need to talk about the bug guy.
Oh yes, Munson from last week who got killed.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
In a great way.
Yeah. So he got possessed. He got turned into. Yeah. The bugs put him back together, and we're making him walk around, and yeah, that was pretty disgusting.
My favorite was when the Swamp Thing says, "Release him," and the bugs all leave his body. If I were Abby, I would have been like, you couldn't make him walk outside first? I live here. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, he just melts into a puddle of black goo.
She was so great, though. She was so brave. She didn't back down from him. Unlike the Avery's victim, who Gordon, who I felt like maybe shouldn't have been quite so spunky taking on Avery. I really enjoyed watching Abby. Like, I forget, what did she swing at him? She swung something at him.
An axe. She chopped him with an axe.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah. It's all black. Like, oh man, that was intense. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm man, there's things I could say that might be spoilers, but I don't know if they're true, so I'm not going to say them. But a lot of interesting stuff going on in that scene.
Now I'm curious what you want to say. We saw Human Alec again. Did you? Where's the Ed barometer on Human Alec this week?
Oh, so Swamp Thing's there. He's Alec. All right, I guess that's fine. I thought we were done with him, but okay. So, all right, I guess. If you pay that actor for the whole season, you might as well use him.
I felt so bad for the Swamp Thing outside the bar watching her dance. Poor Swamp Thing. Are we going to get a similar dance at some point in the swamp? They better slow dance in the swamp.
They better, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that by the end of this season, sure. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I hope that their relationship starts to. I hope they start to get closer, and him tipping her off how to help those patients surely will help.
Well, him talking should help. I mean, that feels like that's gonna.
Yes, and who's the person who loses out in all this? The person who's gonna end up walking home really, really bummed out, and that's Matt Cable.
Oh, poor Matt.
Who he told Abby he had a crush. He had a schoolboy crush on her last week. He makes Delroy play that song at the bar, asks her to dance, and all she could focus on is the green guy in the window. Yeah. Yeah, feel bad for him.
Yeah, he is
mm-hmm.
He is optimistic in a way that I wish she could,
yeah,
help alleviate, but I don't think she can.
Yeah, and the Cable family having some hard luck. Were you as creeped out by the flirtation between Avery and Lucilia as I was when she went to question him?
Yeah, that wasn't great. Mostly I'm just amused that it's Jennifer Beals. I don't know what's wrong with me, but every time I'm just like, that cop uniform just doesn't. It's Jennifer Beals. But yeah, that was a strange dynamic. I did not care for that. No.
Yeah, and the other little dangling storyline that was only one scene was Daniel Cassidy getting his tarot cards read by Madame Xanadu.
Yes.
Yeah. What was going on there?
We paid her for the full season, so.
But why has he stayed there? Is it so he's staying there because of a fortune that she read? What is?
I don't know. I will say Ian Ziering is bringing kind of a strange end, kind of like Lobo in Krypton. I feel like his energy is a little strange on this show. He brings a Sharknado energy that I don't know is appropriate for gross Southern Gothic romance. So.
Yeah, and evidently Red Stripe paid for product placement in this show. I mean, yeah. They really could move this show to Louisiana. I'm sure they could figure it out if they wanted to.
If they wanted to. And at this point, I don't even know that it's North Carolina's fault. Honestly, and that actually gets into the news. Are we done with the?
Yeah, I think we are.
Swamp Thing does science. That's amazing. Okay, so into the news, DC issued a very strange statement about Swamp Thing's cancellation, and they said, quote, "We appreciate there are questions as to why, but unfortunately we are not in a position to answer them at this time. And furthermore, they said they will be removing, quote, false rumors and speculation about what this choice means for DC Universe from the forum threads at the DC Universe forums." So that tells us exactly nothing. And also, everybody knows that if you delete comments, that just makes all the questions go away and everybody's happy.
So the Warner Media has said that they're planning to launch their new streaming service in March. My guess is that is around the same time you will see DC Universe disappear, which should be right after Stargirl ends. If Stargirl premieres in January.
That timing makes sense.
Yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Does it? Do you feel like DC Universe is doing things that WB streaming is never going to have the comic focus? But do you think if it gets folded into a little pocket, would that be enough for you? Do you think, or does it depend on how they do it?
It depends on how they do it. I mean, if it means that cool and offbeat shows like Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol end up not a part of it, I will be disappointed.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Also, this is just me, but I feel like a WB streaming service is going to be more expensive than a DC Universe streaming service. And
well,
how many streamers do we pay for now?
Yeah, the talk is that it's going to fold in Cinemax and HBO in those movie libraries. So if you already pay for HBO, an extra extra $2 a month, because they're talking like $16-17, it'll be about the same.
Well, if it includes HBO originals, I guess this is not the venue for us to talk about streaming economics, but that sweetens that deal a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's interesting to me that, we had the cable companies and they were bringing everything to you for one low price. And now we're going to this, like, I subscribe to Hulu and I subscribe to DC Universe and I've got HBO Now and I'm going to be adding Epics. We'll talk about that in a second, friends. And we're moving to the opposite of that. I just wonder how long, Ed, you and I have talked about this, before some entrepreneur says, here, pay for all of your streaming through my site for one low price. And we go back to the cable model again, except it's all online. Maybe I'll be that entrepreneur. Send me money. Check for my Kickstarter.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what Roku's doing now. Although you're still paying the same price that you would. The hard part is you have to get everyone together and agree to offer their stuff for that lower price. So, I think we're in an age of constant change right now, where streaming services are popping up and disappearing. And we may need to wait another decade to see how it shakes out and if cable still exists in 10 years.
I wonder if 10 years is optimistic even. We'll see. We at the DCTV Report will be along for the ride with you, no matter what happens.
Yes, we will. Was there any other news on Swamp Thing?
That's it for Swamp Thing.
All right. So let's get into news for other shows.
Okay, we've got some news this week. All right, Arrow. Stephen Amell says the Crisis story really began in the season 7 finale and will continue right up to the crossover. So we're in the Crisis storyline. I think we all kind of guess, you had the Monitor so heavily involved. Obviously, we're ramping up to the Crisis. One thing to know as we look ahead to season 8, they're casting a grown-up John Jr. So that would indicate more flash forwards. And also, what's JJ doing as an adult? In Star City 2040, he was doing some things. So we'll see if he's doing the same things in this new whatever.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I would like Tony Todd to play the grown-up John Jr.
How far flashing are we forward? Isn't Tony Todd?
I mean, he's already an adult. So to age him up enough that you need to cast another actor, I would think I would think you need someone significantly older.
That's true.
Plus, also, I'm thinking about when Tony Todd guest starred on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and played the grown-up Jake Sisko. And that was like one of the most that was one of the most emotional, heartwarming episodes. Go check it out. I think it was like the second episode of season 4.
On a scale of 0 to 10 inner lights, where does it fall?
Ooh, an 8.
Oh, dang. Okay. I like Tony Todd. Tony Todd's always good. So, I mean, he is always Candyman. Don't get me wrong. I'm only saying that once. So, the other little bit of Arrow news. The writers' room teased a clean slate by showing us a whiteboard with filmed written on it and then just erasing it. So they're wiping the slate clean for season 8. I do not know what that means, but there you go.
Well, maybe they're going to be talking about doing all the stuff we read about in that Bleeding Cool article last week.
That's what it is. They heard us and they're like, all right, get the Smallville actors on the horn, stat. Get us Batman 66. Build the sets. Moving on to The Flash. The show is seeking a diverse actor to play a new male big bad. We don't have any information about who that would be. The comicbook.com article says maybe Mirror Master, because that was kind of the weapon we had in the season finale. Maybe Red Death. But that seems to be heavily speculation, just sort of based on not clues in the previous season. So, new big bad.
Yeah, and we did get Mirror Master in a previous. We have already had Mirror Master on this show, so yeah, they can always recast or have a new Mirror Master. But
Mirror Master 2, more mirrors. And Jessica Parker Kennedy, who of course was Nora West Allen, did an interview with Collider. She's in a new some kind of horror slasher type movie coming out, and they asked her about her time on The Flash, and she said Nora is done for now. She said, in comic book shows, people always can come back, but the impression she gave was she's willing to come back, but nobody's talking about it right now. So it sounds like Nora, that's it for Nora for the time being.
Okay. All right. I enjoyed my time with her.
Yeah, same.
Batwoman music.
We've got a new teaser that aired during the iZombie episode that ran this week for sure, possibly during other CW properties this week. It shows Batwoman out being philanthropic in an aggressively giving you attitude way, and I say that with respect and delight. I don't know. How else do you want to describe it, Ed?
Yeah. I thought it was cool. Establishes her character. She cares about the little people and the downtrodden. And she really wants to stick it to people who don't agree with her.
Yeah, and she smirks and she rides a motorcycle and she's so cool. So that's my take on the Batwoman teaser trailer.
Okay.
Let's see. Titans. A little bit more DC Universe news. Titans is a show that's running full speed into season 2. So while everybody else is like, I don't know what's happening with DC Universe, Titans has confirmed Drew Van Acker has been cast as Aqualad. And Ed asked me to make sure we had this right, but it is Garth Aqualad, which is different than, which is the other Aqualad?
I forget his name, but it's the one from the original Teen Titans and not the one on Young Justice.
Yeah, so we're getting Garth.
Yeah. Garth. All right.
Garth. And we also have casting. Natalie Gumede has been cast as Mercy Graves. Natalie Gumede, she was in the 2014 Doctor Who Christmas special. I believe she was in Coronation Street. I watched 50% of those things I just mentioned. So I think it's interesting that we're getting Mercy Graves. Obviously, Rhoda Mitra was most recently Mercy Graves on Supergirl. I assume this will be a different version. Natalie Gumede looked like she was maybe a little younger than Rhoda Mitra, so I don't know if that's a Mercy at a different time in her life, or if I just misread the actress photo, her age, and I don't know. But yeah, Mercy Graves. And now Mercy and Otis were made siblings just for Supergirl, right, Ed?
That is correct.
So It's not like where Mercy goes, Otis also goes.
No, okay. But where Mercy goes, Lex Luthor may not be far behind.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that. Man, what does the Titans Lex Luthor look like? Ooh.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
All right, last thing on Titans, we have a photo from the set of a portion of a dog with the collar that says Crypto. So we have a dog tag that says Crypto on a dog neck. Crypto. Honestly, Ed, this is almost my winner of the week because Crypto is coming.
We're getting Crypto. Yes.
It's officially his name, not wink wink. His name is Crypto. It's on the tag.
Yeah, it's Superboy's coming to Titans, and he's bringing Crypto with him. Wow, I cannot wait to see what happens on the last season of Titans. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Your optimism, sir. Your optimism. Where is it?
All right.
That's
what's
it
next?
for Titans. Moving on to Lucifer. All right. There is a petition circling online, of course, for a season 6. Fans upset that 5 will be the last season, wanting to save the show for a season 6. Joe Henderson. Oh, and this was fanned a little bit by Lauren German, who plays Chloe, telling people on Twitter, "Hey, if you love the show, make some noise. Let them know you want season 6." Joe Henderson then tweeted, this was on Friday, I believe. "Hey, Loose fans, I love you all to death, but you're spamming my timeline with season 6 requests when we've made it clear we're ending with season 5. Post away, just don't tag me. I want to hear your voices, but I also want to be able to use Twitter. So if you tag me, you're muting yourself." So it sounds like the showrunners are pretty firm that it's 5 and done. I understand, and I feel bad. I get it. Everybody wants your favorite show to keep going, but it just, the writing's on the wall here. It sounds like it's season 5 and everybody is out.
Yeah, it's a proper ending.
Yeah.
All right. So just be happy you're getting that. Let's not push the term. Let's not push the envelope.
I'll remind you about Scrubs. I'll remind you about The X-Files. I'll remind you about shows that I really loved that just dragged on and on and on. I want more Lucifer too, but I want it to end strong. So, and frankly, I want the showrunners' wishes to be heard, and it sounds like that's what they want. So anyway, there's a petition out there. It sounds futile. So do with that what you will. Next, Preacher. Just a little update. Ian Coletti, who plays Eugene, tweeted that he has wrapped filming on the series on Wednesday. So the show, who knows how much of the season upcoming Eugene is in. He could be wrapping earlier than others, but the show is wrapping some of the principal cast photography for its final season, which premieres in August.
Do you think he kept his last makeup prosthetic?
Oh, can you imagine? Like, put it on a mannequin in your house and creep people out when they come visit you? I hope so.
I would totally do that.
Hey, everybody, you want to touch it?
You want to touch my ass face?
And that's how I met your mother. Speaking of a show that stayed too long. Okay. Moving on to Pennyworth.
Pennyworth.
Ed,
music.
Pennyworth is still a show we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. There's a new trailer. It's a full-blown trailer. It really does kind of show, I think, the shape of the season. We see Alfred meet a mysterious American named Thomas Wayne, and we see him getting closer with a woman, and blah, 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 blah. Ed, how excited are you for Pennyworth?
It's a high-end BBC spy show. I'm up for this.
Oh my God.
Except they're airing it on Epics.
All right. Here, and the funny thing is, off air, Ed and I were talking, and I think we came to the same conclusion as we watched this trailer. There is no reason for this to be in the Batman universe. This looks like a cool little, like, British 60s spy action, whatever. I'd be into it. But you could name the characters Basil and Cecil and I sound like I'm being really stereotypically British here, but you they don't have to be Alfred and Thomas. They could be anybody. Where's the Batman? Why is this thing? Why is Pennyworth?
I guess we're gonna have to watch and see.
All right. We're gonna have to pay for another streaming service. I mean, it's $5 a month still.
Yeah.
All right. And that's it for the news.
All right. So that means now it's time for our winners for the week. Sarah, do you want to go first, or should I go first? You tell me.
You can go first.
Okay. So, my winner for this week was Hard Talks with Your Parents. And all 3 episodes on Krypton. On Krypton, you had Lyda Zod and Drew Zod hashing it out and having a difficult conversation. Also, Nyssa finally finding her dad and having a hard talk about the truth about her lineage, and then watching him get his head blown off. On iZombie, Liv had that hard talk with her mom, where the mom said, I think you should be ashamed of yourself and stay away from me and your brother. Oh, by the way, this guy's probably your dad. And on Swamp Thing, Matt Cable got chewed out by his mom before she went and flirted with the bad guy.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
No. So yeah, hard talks with your parents. That's my winner for this week.
Well, and mine, I feel like if anybody's a betting person, you could make some very easy money off of this, because mine is obviously the escaped member of Kiss Army who showed up in Krypton in his white body paint to bring a certain level of anarchic zeal, and has a potential spinoff brewing even before he made his debut, and that is Lobo. Congratulations, you weird albino space pirate. Bring me your dolphins.
All right, and that's the show for this week. Sarah, we finished.
We finished.
All right, everybody, that's the DCTV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Edward O'Hare TBD.
And I'm at Sara Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister shows, the Wicked Theory Podcast and Preacher vs. Preacher. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam!